Hi, and welcome to our Retired Nomad Adventures.
I'm Retired Rick.
And I'm Daphne, and we are a retired couple who are traveling the world full-time, about a month at a time in each new destination. And today's destination we're going to be talking with you about is Antalya, Turkey. So we've just spent a wonderful month in this beautiful seaside town, and this is our budget wrap-up. So this is one of our favorite videos to do each month because we get a chance to take a look at and see, did we come in at or under budget?
And it's my favorite because it deals with numbers. And for our budget, we allotted ourselves $164.38 per day for two people. And you divide that by 27, or you times that by 27, and you come up with our budget for Antalya, which is $4,438.
Yes, and we try to couple sort of higher cost destinations with lower cost destinations. Our budget stays the same no matter where we're at, and we just hope that the higher cost and lower cost places kind of balance each other out. And we weren't really sure what to expect with Antalya. We knew from our time in Istanbul that prices have definitely increased in Turkey, but Antalya is also a resort destination, and we are here during peak season, and so let's take a look at these numbers and see how we did. And we always start off with our travel, and so we want to give you our costs for all of the travel included in our time here.
And our travel costs for Antalya includes our prorated trip getting over here from the United States. We prorated it over the places that we're visiting. And then also it includes our Turkish air flight to Antalya from Istanbul. And that cost was $173. It also includes some Ubers and buses and trams.
Yeah, so we took Ubers 4 times, and so the Ubers, 2 times we did back and forth to the airport, and the cost for each of those trips was anywhere from $18 to $21. Just one way was 18 and one way was 21, and that was about a 30 to 40 minute drive from downtown Antalya to the airport. And then we also had an Uber that we took both ways when I went to the hospital. So I went to the hospital to get my tailbone checked out, got some x-rays done, and that was about a 30-minute drive. It was much closer than the airport, but it was in city streets, and
right.
so it just took longer. And those rides were different in prices. One ride was $10 and one ride was $6. So that's included in there. And then we also tried to use public transportation. We really gave it our best.
Keyword is tried. We succeeded on it.
Ish.
Ish. We messed up a lot, but it worked out. And with all that said, it was less than $5.
Yeah, so I'd say it was a success on the way out to the waterfall and beach area, and then where we really messed up was trying to get back home.
Right.
So we ended up on all kinds of different buses and trams, and even still, that wasn't too bad. So our total cost for transportation was $341. And then, of course, our biggest expense every month is always housing. And so our housing, this time we stayed in an Airbnb. And so it was an older Ottoman-style house. It had 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, dining area, all the things. And it was right inside the walled city of Antalya. And the total cost for our housing was $1,640. And that was really a good price. When I went back and looked later, most everything was sort of double that. It was an older house, and so we are going to put the Airbnb link in here in case you're interested in it, but we can only recommend that with some cautions.
It was in the perfect location, and it worked out great for us. But there are, the water is low pressure, low water pressure.
Really low.
It's an older house, so it has little creaks here and there, and the noise outside is pretty dominant. You hear the cars, you hear honking. So as long as you're comfortable with that, we would recommend it.
Yeah. Okay. So that was, I feel like we got a good deal on our housing costs. So the next expense for us, and maybe the next biggest expense for us, is our dining out. And we ate out a lot when we were in Antalya. I think we saw that as a real form of entertainment.
I think we used this as an excuse. We didn't have an oven. Well, we had a stove, but we didn't have an oven.
And we really relied heavily on that excuse. And actually, we did weigh ourselves after we left Antalya, and the scale showed that we indulged.
We gained weight.
We did gain weight, and so we both gained weight, and so we need to cut back on this dining out a bit. But for this month, our total cost for dining out was $1,001, and we ate out a total of 37 times, and that was for our lunch and dinners.
Lunch, breakfast, and dinner sometimes.
Yeah.
But
so-
mostly lunch and dinner.
Yes, and then we also went out for coffee 15 times, and then Rick got some
This is a
carrot
new
cake.
one. This is a dessert. We had dessert 8 times, and that included carrot cake and McDonald's sundaes.
Yeah, so it's so interesting. They have this window on the street where you can just put your order in, and they pass you out the beautiful McDonald's sundaes. And
So we're in Antalya, and we went to McDonald's.
Yes, and it was, and I'm not mad about it. It was delicious. They had a raspberry or some kind of berry sundae that wasn't strawberry, which is what we can get in the United States. So that was great. So we ate out an awful lot.
Yes.
Our typical meals out, so we would spend, you could get lunches very inexpensively. So we had 2 places that we've previously recommended to you where we both could eat and be very full and satisfied for less than $10. And so those were 2 places, and so you could get that for lunch. And then our dinners were running us anywhere from $35 to $50. Yeah, that was really typical. And then
with the exception of our most expensive meal, which was a little over $90
on accident.
On accident, and it was our fault because I wanted a grilled fish, and it was a reasonable regular price grilled fish. But when I was ordering it, the owner asked if I wanted a small, medium, or large fish. Well, if you're giving me a choice, I'm going to take a large. We should have asked how much the large was.
Well,
I guess it fed 2 people, but I ate the whole thing. So just the fish alone was like $50.
Yeah, so the fish originally cost $16. And so we thought, well, even if it's double the cost, that's fine. Like, we're in Antalya, so we thought even if it was double, but it turned out to be significantly more than double. And it's just something to be aware of. Don't be embarrassed to ask for prices on ththings. So if somebody asks you, do you want, you could say, yes, I would love it. How much is that? And then you can make an informed decision. When we got our bill and it was $90 some dollars, we were very surprised. We happily paid it. We knew it was our fault. And then we just said, okay, lesson learned.
Lesson learned. So the fish was good.
Yeah. So again, lesson learned. And then we also paid the price. So then the next day we were only allowed to eat at those $10. We had $10 lunch and $10 dinner. We went to the cheap places to try to balance it out a little bit. So what was your favorite meal?
My favorite was the spaghetti at Matcha, and also I like the grilled fish at, I can't pronounce it, the owner was really nice. We'll put the name up, but I like both of those, but for the most part, that spaghetti dish was really good at Matcha.
Yeah, I enjoyed, so my favorite meal was at Matcha also. I enjoyed, they had a falafel wrap that was really good, so that was my favorite meal. But the thing that I wanted the most, the thing I kept saying, oh, let's go here tonight, was also to the grilled fish place. So that grilled fish was delicious. And
not the one that we paid a lot. It was a different one.
Yeah, but that meal was typically about $50. Yes. But that was with us, having wine and beer, and and he also gave us appetizers with it. So that was a very nice meal, and we went there often.
Yes.
Okay, so that's our dining out expense, and then, of course, groceries were a little less because we weren't cooking in that much. But our total cost for our groceries was $304.
Right, and our groceries included. We'd always eat breakfast. It would be eggs and toast. So eggs, bread, and then naturally we need to get some wine, we need some Diet Coke, we need some other drinks, and we need some snacks. So that was pretty much our grocery run. And with that, we went to the grocery, how many?
20.
We went to the grocery 20 times.
Yeah, we just
grocery store 20 times.
We just had the little mini fridge, and so almost so we were there 27 days, and so almost every day we went to the grocery store for something. And it was fun to kind of seek out different grocery stores. Like one grocery store had all the fruits and vegetables, so whenever we wanted those, we would go there. So we enjoyed doing that, and that wasn't a bad price for our groceries.
Yeah. So for our next category, to entertainment, and for entertainment, we spent $124.
Yeah, and so that was for 2 tours and 2 beach days. And our tours, they were a little hit and miss here. Right. So we did a full beach day or a full boat tour where we went out and they took us to different swimming spots and snorkeling spots and beach spots. And it was a good day. It wasn't the best day. We chose the one we did so that we could leave straight from the marina and kind of cut out some drive time. We've shared with you that having it to do over again, maybe we would have added the drive time and gone to some different beaches. But how are you going to complain when you're on a pirate ship dancing in the middle of the ocean and getting a chance to swim in that beautiful, warm Mediterranean water? So that was a good day. And that trip was, or that tour was about $60 for both of us. And it was a full day tour. And the lunch was great.
Yeah, the lunch was fantastic.
Yeah, so there's really, it's just not the best boat tour we've been on, but hard to complain.
Right, you can't complain about it.
No, we did complain about the next tour. So the next tour we went on was a tour that was going to include both of the upper and lower Duden Falls, and we wanted to do that because that was the day we had the fiasco where we couldn't get ourselves to. We found one of the falls, and then it was off the rails from there. It was also going to take us on a boat tour that took us to some waterfalls, and then also we were excited it included a city tour inside the walls of Antalya. And even though we were staying in Antalya, we were interested and eager for someone to kind of point out all the historical sites and all the information that we didn't know. This tour, though, ended up, the falls portion was great.
Was good. On land, the falls portion was good. We had a good lunch.
Yeah, lunch was great. And then then they kind of took us to a shopping place where we were held hostage for quite a little bit. And then from there, they took us on a boat tour that didn't involve the falls, even though it said it was supposed to.
It left from a different marina that it said it was going to, and it didn't even go to the falls.
Yeah.
And then it ended up at the city tour where we thought we were going to get some historical information, and we were just dropped off there, and we had an hour of free time, which that's where our hotel or our Airbnb is. So we didn't really need that free time. So with that whole tour cost $36, but Viator reimbursed us $15 for not leaving the correct port or anything like that.
And then the free time versus the tour.
Free time versus the tour. So it ended up costing us $21.
Yeah, so for that, fine. And then we had 2 beach days, which were both fantastic. Completely different, though. So the Maramelli Beach, that was our first beach day, and that one was almost $25 for both of us for the full days and our sun chairs, and that's the beach we would totally recommend. Yes. Then we went to another beach that was kind of hidden inside the park area, and it looked very romantic and very I don't know, from the United States, the beaches here are just amazing, and then those terraced areas are amazing. That beach was a little rough for us, though.
A little rough. It was way rough. The water was, you'd step down into the sea and you were just bombarded with waves.
Rick looked over a couple times when I was holding onto the bar, and I was like bobbing way under the water and then would pop back up. And then also Rick,
I came up and I'm bloody.
So it was an interesting day. We would definitely recommend Maramelli Beach, yes. But we loved both beach days. And that beach day was a total of $20 for both of us for the day. And they had the cutest security ever. So we got to exit through some security kittens. And so even though we got a little banged and battered, it was still a really nice day out in the sun.
Our next category is personal care. And that came in at $101.
Yeah, not bad. They have beauty stores everywhere here in Antalya. So you can go 3 stores in a row that are all different cosmetic stores. So it was really nice. I always like to get body oil gel, and I can't find it anywhere, and they had it here, so I was able to stock up on all the lotions and potions and all the things. Even the Retin-A I could get in the top strength here for only $12. So that was fantastic.
I've had the best haircut ever. I don't know if you can call it a haircut. I mean, he trimmed my hair a little bit, and I was ready to get up, and he said, no, it's phase 1, phase 2, and then phase 3. And my goodness, it was like I was in a spa. We had coffee. I had facials done. I had my hair washed. It was amazing. And we left there after about an hour.
Yeah.
And it was under $15, including a tip.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was interesting
fantastic.
Too, because when he sat us down and then brought us coffee. And so he brought full Turkish coffee and then told us, sit, enjoy your coffee before bringing you over to the chair. And it just felt like a very
relaxed atmosphere. It was the best haircut, and I mean, I wish I could go back there.
Well, and that's saying something, because Rick loves to get his different haircuts everywhere we go. So that was a fun. We could put that in entertainment.
That could be entertainment.
And then the other things that are included in our personal care is I got some sunglasses, and you got
a Nike hat.
Yeah. And so that's what encompasses that personal care. And then our next category is miscellaneous, and so that was $14, and that was really just for postcards home and postage home.
Right.
We always, wherever we go, we try. It's funny, some places postcards are not easy to find, and some places there's plenty to choose from, but we've got postcards and sent them off in the mail.
Yep.
So that was $14. Then our next expense, now we're kind of coming over to our recurring costs, and so our next expense is our cell phone.
Our cell phone, and that's $90 because 100, what our usual phone bill is $100, so you divide that by 27, you come up with 90.
Yeah, I asked that. I said, why is it only $90? He said, well, because it was only 27 days.
And that's the same with our recurring costs. So our recurring costs were $240.
Now that's going to go up.
I think that's going up.
Yes, because I love ChatGPT to help us with our travel planning, and as we're out and about, questions I have, and it has started cutting me off, which I'm really upset about. So I think I'm only allowed to ask like 7 or 8 questions a day, and I've gotten used to asking so many more. So I keep telling Rick, I want to subscribe to ChatGPT now. So you may see that going up by about $20 a month.
Daphne needs therapy. She is arguing with ChatGPT saying, what do you mean I talked to you too much today?
Why are you cutting me off? So we'll see that start to go up. And then the next category is healthcare. And now that's not our medical expenses. So we have our medical insurance, and so we pay that once a year. And we just did an updated video on that where we went over our medical and then our cell phone plan. So if you're interested in that at all, but that's not included in these expenses. And typically we don't have any healthcare costs, but this month we do.
This month was $212, and what that was is we wanted some x-rays. Daphne was having some problem with her tailbone, so we just wanted to make sure everything was okay. We had some x-rays done. We went to the hospital. We had a consultation with the doctor, and then also gave us prescriptions.
Yeah, so that's for all of that. So that $211 or $212 is the prescriptions. It's the visit with the doctor, the x-rays. Like, that's fantastic. Yeah. That was fantastic. I felt really well taken care of there. And then what else do we have? I guess that's it,
so
right?
We're ready for our total.
Let's remind you, though, our total cost this month, or our total budget this month, was $4,438.26. And then the total amount we spent this month was
$4,060.05.
So nice. So we are under budget by $378.21, and that includes a doctor's visit, like going to the hospital. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we really weren't sure in Antalya what this was going to look like. And again, we ate out so much when we were here. And so we were biting our nails a little. But so I feel proud of that. I feel like, okay, that's good. We're happy with that.
Right.
And then we want to make sure that we had a couple of people send us some treats while we were here. So Julia Watson sent us $19.99, and so that will get us
Thank you very much. I'll get us some carrot cake and some coffee.
Yes, so and especially now that Rick's found carrot cake. And then Chad B. Chad, thank you so much. You sent us 5 coffees, and we so appreciate that.
We definitely use those coffees, so thank you.
Yes, thank you. And then coming in under budget does help us, because next week we hope you'll join us as we're getting ready to set sail on a cruise, and we're using the cruise for multiple things. One is our transportation from here in Turkey to Italy. So, and then we have lots of stops along the way in different places that we are considering going to for our 30 days slow travels. So it'll be nice to be able to check out some spots and see if these spots will work for us to come back to for 30 days. It's also our vacation that we're treating ourselves to this year. And so the costs there are going to be significantly higher. Rick already knows that we are over budget for that, but we'll share all of that with you. And so we hope you join us next week as we come to you from the Norwegian Pearl. But until then, bye.